JF Rides, you're in here already? What's up, guys? Hey, JF Rides, since you're the first one in here, let me know if this audio sounds terrible, because I know that I always screw this up, and I probably have there's probably like a crazy echo or something like that. So let me know if sounds good. Sweet. What's up, guys? Live Free Shred, Matt, Barry, ASJ. Sweet. People are pouring in. That's pretty sweet. I'm going to sit over here and see if my cable reaches. Kind of good. Let's see. Let's move this camera a little bit closer. All right. There we go. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out on a Friday night. What's up, Carter and Justin? Damp and muddy Colorado. Dude, it is so damp here. It's ridiculous. Today was like one of those super slow mist days, like super fine mist where it just like it's like the grossest weather ever. It just soaks everything, and it's just disgusting all day long. All right. Let's see who else. Jerry. What's up, Jerry? So the bad thing about having a remote camera is then when I look at it on my computer screen, I'm not looking at virtually all of you guys. It's raining in Colorado. What's up? So you know what, guys? I probably should be working on my bike because I promised a bike reveal, and it's like it's pieced together, but it's not rideable. But at least for all of you, it'll look like it's rideable. But I'm holding off till we'll get some more people in here, and then we'll do some live chatting. I got some beers. I think that's like the thing you're supposed to do when you do a YouTube live chat, is to pound beers and talk with you guys. So somebody comment where there is good weather. So it's dank and muddy in Colorado. I know that it's dank and muddy on the East Coast. So Jerry, I know that you probably are dealing with that same stuff down in South Jersey, but where is there some good weather going on right now? Where do I need to go to get some warm, dry weather? Next Thursday, I head out to California to go to do some demos for the Sea Otter Classic. And I'm there for a day. And then over the weekend, I'm going back to Sedona because I found the trail that I needed to shoot for a Trail Boss video. So next weekend, I'll be back in Sedona for 2 days. And then I go back to California, and I have an entire week of demos for school kids, trying to get them psyched on bikes, go out to the Sea Otter Classic. And I'm back in New Jersey, and then I'm back at the Sea Otter Classic. So I'll be in California for like 3 weeks. Definitely want to ride in Santa Cruz. So if there's any Santa Cruz people on here, let me know. What's up, Justin? What's up, Carter? Let's see. The western slope of Colorado is dry and sunny. Chattanooga is good. You know what? I've never been to Chattanooga, and I definitely have to get there. Well, I've been there, but I haven't been there to ride recently. Hey, what's up, Rob? How are you feeling? We have Rob Drew in the house. He and his brother Rich are two Southwest riders. Rob's from Phoenix. Rich is from Texas. They're super, super good guys. They have a YouTube channel. You should definitely check it out. And Rob had a crash a couple weeks ago, or just like last weekend, right? And I think he got banged up pretty good, but he looks pretty tough from what I've seen. So I'm waiting for him to comment how he's doing. Doing better every day? Sweet. So Rob, you were being followed by your brother Rich, right? Rich texted me they thought Rob was dead. I can't imagine what it's like to follow one of your loved ones and watch them crash that bad and feel like they're dead. Oh man. So Zach, the Arizona weather is getting too hot, and I thought that I missed the season. When I was out there for the Sedona Fat Tire Festival, I found a trail that I wanted to ride for a Trail Boss video, and then I just didn't have the time to do it. And I didn't think that I would be able to get back there so soon. And then I had to go to the Sea Otter Classic for these demos on a Friday. And then rather than sit around in California Saturday and Sunday, I booked a flight to jump down to Sedona real quick for 2 days. No video, huh? Darn it. Sometimes maybe you don't want to see things like that, Rob. But he did say it looked ugly. He said that you hit the first tree or something like that and then just ragdolled down the side of the hill. So I'm glad that you're on here and your fingers still work and whatever. Let's see how many people. Oh, we got 38 people in here already and 6 thumbs up. Hey, everybody, if you're watching this, we have 38 people in here and we only have 6 thumbs up. I promise this live chat will get better, but give me some thumbs up. So then I think that more people see it, the more thumbs up we get. I don't even know what my record is for live chats. It's usually not very high, but we'll see how high we can get it. 40 is pretty good. 16. ESC, and you got to pay $5 or whatever it is for that number plate. You got to save it. So I did one race last year, and it was at Blue Mountain. I crashed in a rock garden and bent my pinky probably back to my wrist, and it literally took me all year to feel better. But I definitely want to hit up some ESC races again. There's one at Mountain Creek, which is right in my backyard. So I definitely want to try to hit up Mountain Creek and hit up some other races. They're super fun, but man, those guys are so fast now. Oh, Glen Park. You know what? I think I am going to do the Glen Park Enduro 2 this year. So that'll be pretty sweet. That one is ESC. So Glen Park is in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And a fun fact is I went to college in East Stroudsburg. So I used to ride those trails like literally 25 years ago in college on a hardtail. They definitely weren't as good as they are now. Glen Park is really, really awesome. If you're in Eastern Pennsylvania, you got to go to Glen Park. It's super, super fun. All right. Let's see. Zach is going to Sedona next weekend. Glen Park is only a month away. Aaron, did they build that swamp gap at Alafaya? So Aaron Jocelyn just wrote in that they built a 40-foot swamp gap at Alafaya. And I saw a video online the other day, or maybe a Facebook post that they were building a 40-foot swamp gap, and I thought that it was a joke, but please write back, Aaron, if that thing was for real, because that would be pretty sweet to hit a 40-foot swamp gap. We got 46 people in here. Regular guy, I did not say anything remotely good yet, so Gene, I apologize, but at least you didn't miss anything, so that's good. We're up to 47 people, but only 31 thumbs up. So I gotta do better here. Let's see. So Gene, regular guy, I was talking to Aaron Chase the other day, and he was in Connecticut, and he said that the riding there was perfect, that the dirt was dry. That was last Monday and Tuesday. He said that I was totally perfect, but after the weather that we had here in New Jersey the last 2 days, pretty much all the snow is gone anyway. But Connecticut is pretty good. I want to get back to Boston. When I went to Lynn Woods for that Trail Boss last winter, it was like the best riding ever. So I definitely want to get back there and explore some more. Justin, I feel like another month to ride in Minnesota is probably going to be like 5 more months. I think don't you have snow on the ground till like June out there? Matt signed up for the 5 race enduro series. Is that where's that series at, Matt? This is hard keeping up with all these live chat messages. So Mary Beth, I need to do a street vid again. So 2 things. I am going to do a street vid. I want to do a street vid on my mountain bike, but I also am experimenting with one more STP frame that I have left around. The STP is a giant free ride hardtail that I helped design, 26-inch. I always rode it for trials, but it's good for dirt jumping, whatever. But I just got back from the machine shop today, and I had them make me a custom axle for it. And this custom axle is going to try to make this bike into something cool. And if it works, it might be really cool. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But it'll be a fun experiment. So I'm going to try to make a couple street videos. for sure. Live Free Shred is going to Rhode Island tomorrow. So, Zach, you said you saw the Alafaya gap and it's going to be insane. Zach, follow me on Instagram and send me a picture of that gap, because I would seriously go back to Florida just to hit that thing. If there's really a 40-foot swamp jump, I will definitely go back to Florida. My good friend Lance Trappy lives there. I have a free place to stay. It's super cheap to get down to Florida. I would totally go back to Alafaya just to hit that swamp gap because it sounds really, really awesome. We got 50 people in here. Let's see. So Rob Drew is saying he's from Boston. He needs to know where the riding is. There is a place called Lynn Woods. It's in Lynn, Massachusetts. That's like the best place I think I've ever technical mountain bike. It's not the best place I've ever mountain bike, but I commented and then I had all kinds of people dispute it or whatever. But I feel like Lynn Woods has the most amount of technical riding per square inch or mile or whatever than any place I've ever ridden in the country. It's crazy. There's definitely like, you go to some place like Moab or Sedona and there's like miles and miles and miles of trails. But in Lynn, Massachusetts, you could be riding a crazy trail that's right here, and then 5 feet to your left is another crazy trail, and it's just like a huge bowl of spaghetti. And like you're riding one trail and a different trail, and you don't even know like what's technically a trail. If you go on like Trail Forks or MTB Project, they're all labeled and they all have names, and then the locals call them different things and they call them online and stuff. But if you ever get a chance to go to Linwood, you should definitely go. It's really, really awesome. Mary Beth, the STP is done being made. It was stopped being made like 3 or 4 years ago, which is kind of a bummer, but I had a stockpile of frames, so I still have new ones. But if you were looking to buy STP, you got to go on eBay or something like that. All right, let's catch up with some of these. Keeping it real too. That would be pretty sweet to do a keeping it real too. I tried putting keeping it real. If you look on my YouTube page, there's like a couple segments from keeping it real. And my intention was to upload that whole entire video, and then all the videos have licensing problems and stuff, and I'd put them up and nobody could see them because they got flagged for copyrights and whatever. So at the time, I had the rights for those songs for the like literally the VHS tape. But nowadays on YouTube, they all got flagged again. So I put up a couple segments and I changed the music, but then it seemed to be a pain in the butt. The Swamp Gap is real and it's spectacular. The Swamp Club has been posting videos and on Facebook today. Oh my God, I got to check that out. If you have pictures or videos of that Swamp Gap, either message me on Facebook or on Instagram. If you don't follow me on those things, then you should follow me on those things. And if you have photos, definitely send them to me. All right, let's see. Reynolds still has a tape. Aaron, you sent the video to Instagram. Let's do this right now. All right. Do I have any Instagram messages? Oh, I do. No way. No way. Oh my God, that is awesome. That is awesome. That is the best thing ever. I'm sending that to my friend Lance Trappy. I have to get down there to hit that thing. That is amazing. That is seriously amazing. Is that thing, it's just open, anybody could hit that thing, and if you mess it up, you just land with the gators, or what? So JF Rides, that is my new bike, and that's the whole reason I'm on this live chat, because I was trying to like see how high I can get this live chat going. It's at 60. I don't know if 100 is possible. If I can get to 100, then maybe I'll turn the camera, because I'm super excited to show you guys my new bike. I have at least 3 new partners this year that I haven't had in the past, and then it's a cool color, and I'm just excited to show you guys. But I don't know, I was kind of excited. Most of my sponsors I keep forever and ever and ever. Giant I've been with for 17 years. Shimano I've been with over 10 years. Vittoria, this is going on like year 4 or 5. Ergon I've been with for at least 6 years. So all those people are still supporting me after all this time. It's been pretty awesome. MRP, I've been working with them for probably close to 10 years. But I have one new sponsor that's on the bike that you can't see. I have two that are super, super, super visible. So maybe you've seen them. One of them was in my first Trail Boss. You could see in like some of my new videos, like I'm shouting them out. See if anybody can comment of two of the new sponsors I have posted stuff about. They sponsored some of my ride-alongs and my Trail Boss videos. Some of them are sponsoring. One of the sponsors is sponsoring the Trail Boss videos. I want to see if anybody could guess what they are. Oh, there's a thumbs down. I'm not surprised. I can't put any video on YouTube without getting thumbs down. Even I did a ride with kids in Indiana a few weeks ago, and somebody thumbs it down. I don't know what kind of sick people do that type of thing. No, it's actually not Rilo, Joe. In that video I showed, I spent $500 on that thing. And I had a lot of people writing, thanks for the review. Now they know not to spend their money. If you're not making videos for YouTube or videos that people are going to watch on TV screens or computer screens, like if you're just doing stuff for Instagram, that Rilo is awesome. It was worth every penny, and I'm going to use that thing a ton. But the resolution just isn't that great when you blow it up really big. But for like Instagram videos, I'm going to totally wear that thing all the time. I went for a ride in Brandywine the other day, and it was freezing cold out, and I just wore like a windbreaker, and I just had the zipper down with the chest harness underneath and just the camera popping out, and there's no moving parts or anything. It was super cool. So for some stuff, if you're just like making videos for your friends or Instagram, I think it's awesome. It's just not, what we're doing isn't pro level, but it's not like that level or whatever. All right, let's see. Rob Drew wants me to send them the vid. All right, smash that like button. Help me out. Exactly. Yeah. I would imagine everybody watching this live chat is a subscriber to my channel. If you don't subscribe to my channel and you found this live chat, subscribe. But I would imagine that most people are already subscribing. Eric, trust me, there's a lot of people that dislike the Trail Boss. Haters do love my videos, and then there's people that don't like my videos. But you know what? Can't please everybody. As hard as I try to please everybody, you certainly cannot please everybody. So I'm going to keep. All right, hold on. Got a phone call real quick. What's up, dude? Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Yep, I'm good. All right, love you too. Fest, and I want to try to make those rides even bigger than before. Last year at NEMBA Fest, I got to send this thing to Rob Drew. Last year at NEMBA Fest, that was the kind of the first time I ever did like a Trail Boss kind of ride or whatever, and it went really, really well. Oh, it's the Rob Drew. The Rob Drew. Follow him on Instagram. He's gonna get this video right now, and it's awesome. All right, so last year at NEMBA Fest was like the first kind of Trail Boss ride I did, and we had a really good turnout. And then I've done a few more. I did Alafaya this year, I did Alafaya. I did Santos Fat Tire Festival. I did Sedona Fat Tire Festival, and I really can't believe that so many of you are coming out. It's really, really, really awesome, because if I tried to do that 5 years ago as Jeff, the trials guy, I definitely wouldn't have had a turnout. So I definitely feel like it's all of you watching these videos and subscribing and whatever that are getting those turnouts. So I'm hoping to make NEMBA Fest even better this year. We're only at 67. We're stalled out. I wanted to try to get to 100 before I showed you my bike, but Victor Shavizi, the guy who sold Jack his car. There you go. If you live in New Jersey or anywhere in the tri-state area and you need a car, And you think that I wouldn't plug Victor because whenever I do cross country races, Victor usually beats me. So I shouldn't be plugging you, Victor. But if you want a car, go to Colonial Motors. It's in it's not Ledgewood. Comment right there, Victor, and so I could write it. Oh, Kenville. Colonial Motors in Kenville. He hooked up my son with a super, super sweet car that's way nicer than a car that he should have gotten, but Vic gave me such a good deal, I had to go for it. And then I end up driving the thing half the time because I think it's pretty sweet. All right. Have been to or made any videos in Bentonville, Arkansas? Eric, go on my page, and I made one from Bentonville last October. I definitely have to get back there. That place is amazing. It's super, super fun. And I don't shop at Walmart, but the Walmart family supports a lot of those trail building projects, and it almost makes me want to shop at Walmart because that place is so awesome. So if I was ever going to shop at Walmart, it would only be because those trails are so good. Mine Hill, New Jersey. All right, so if you're looking for a used car, go to Colonial Motors in Mine Hill and shake Victor's hand because usually he beats me in cross country races. I have beat him a few times though, but he's pretty fast. So go see Victor. Hey, we got somebody on here from Mexico. That's pretty sweet. All right, so I'm going to keep stalling for a minute. I want to show you guys something. This is like a special live chat offer. What do you think of that? So if you've seen, I've been making like a lot of vlogs, and I've been telling you that you could send self-addressed stamped envelopes to Post Office Box 1123 in Sparta, New Jersey, and you can get Trail Boss stickers. So these are them, right? So there you go. These are these Trail Boss stickers that you can get. So when you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, you can usually get these stickers, right? I got some new logos made. There's an Instagram page called Slime Sunday. It's a friend of mine from Victoria. Her boyfriend has this page. He does all this awesome pop art. So I hit him up and I asked him if he would do some variations on Trail Boss logos for me. So he came up with this logo, which I think is pretty sick. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you guys like this. All right, so if you guys send in a self-addressed stamped envelope to Post Office Box 1123, or if you look at any of my videos on YouTube, I always post that thing at the bottom. It's pretty easy to remember though. 1123, Sparta, New Jersey, 07871. Mail it to Trail Boss Stickers at that address. If you guys send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, I'll give you guys, only the people watching this live chat, this sticker. Everybody else that watches gets this one. All right. So these are pretty sweet. And I'm going to do this one on a t-shirt. I know everybody's doing t-shirts right now, but I'm doing this one on a t-shirt. And then he also did this variation, which I think is super sick. It's a little bit more usable because it's not so big. So that's another variation on the Trail Boss logo. And I'm doing this on some hoodies and stuff like that. So I'm going to have some Trail Boss gear coming out. And if you guys like the channel or if you like riding technical trails, you should definitely try to pick some of this stuff up. But I don't have it yet. I met with the guy last week, and it's coming out soon. So you could either get this crazy Slime Sunday one, and you could also subscribe to his or like his page on Instagram. It's called Slime Sunday. It's really, really awesome. He does all this super cool Photoshop work. That one. So that's pretty sweet. Do it on a cap and have it. I know. So Joe, I was trying to figure that out. I was thinking it would be super cool if it went down and then this like went onto the visor like that. So it kind of like looked like it was spilling down. But I got a couple samples of that stuff coming, mainly on like cotton t-shirts, but I was thinking of maybe doing them on like a performance fabric shirt too. But I'm not positive. It's kind of hard to get that kind of stuff right. And I grew up into skateboarding and BMX, and mountain biking is always like technical gear. It's like wearing bike jerseys and bike shorts and pads, and I always kind of like to have like a cool hat or cool t-shirt or something. So I'm like sweating it a little bit too much. Zach, you got it. Orange seal right there. So he's got one of my first new sponsors, Orange Seal. So that's one of the things that's on my bike, but you can't see it because it's inside the tire. So Orange Seal stepped up huge this year, mainly because of all of you watching my YouTube videos and either on YouTube or Facebook. But the guys at Orange Seal really dug what I was doing on the channel, and we had lots of conversations. And I told them how if you are into trail riding, you have to have tire sealant. So it was kind of like a no-brainer for myself. I always try to work with sponsors where I feel like it's something that I believe in. And Orange Seal, I've used that sealant before. I've been buying it for years, and then I finally met the guy at NEMBA Fest last year, and he was super cool. And he liked what I was doing, and I liked what they were doing. And you can't go technical trail riding without tire sealant. So I don't think that there's many things that are more authentic than tire sealant. So you got it, Zach. You picked up on one of the new sponsors. But there's another one. It was on the screen in my first trail bus of the year from Florida, and then you might have noticed it in like a lot of the shots on some other videos. We'll see if anybody else could guess it in the next few minutes. We're still stuck at 80. I'll probably have to show my bike soon because we've been on here for an hour or a half hour, and we're at 82. Sweet. Should do a technical 3/4 live free and shred. So I got some samples made up in like baseball tee, concert tee. It's kind of like a off-white chest, and I think I did like a light blue sleeve, and then this is printed on the front, and it's not a silk screen. It's this process where they like impregnate the fabric. So when you feel it, it looks kind of like it's sort of old, or like it's just sublimated. But when you sublimate, I was at the printer the other day and I found out all kinds of stuff that I never thought I'd know about printing. Sublimating you could only do on artificial fabrics, polyester, stuff like that. You can't sublimate cotton, whatever. They do this process that looks like sublimating. So think of like a bike jersey, how it's just like part of the fabric, but it's part of the 50-50 cotton mix or whatever. It's super cool. If it comes out as good as it looks in the pictures, it would be super sick. Chris, your new ride is coming soon, and do I use CushCore? I am testing out a whole bunch of stuff right now. So I actually just filmed a video about something this afternoon, but it's not really ready for prime time just yet. Leon, it impregnates the t-shirt, and then 9 months later you'll get another baby t-shirt. What's my opinion on Hellmann's mayonnaise? I'm a kind of a mayonnaise fan, but I usually go for like the random organic mayonnaise versus Hellmann's, but a little bit of mayonnaise on a sandwich is usually pretty good. We're at 83. Hey, somebody asked me a question about bike setup. What kind of questions do you have about bike setup? So one of the things that I always get, and is hard for me, you have a lot of guys on YouTube that are professional YouTubers. They don't have any professional affiliations or anything like that. So they could run whatever, ride whatever, review whatever. And as a professional rider, obviously I have companies like Giant, Shimano, Vittoria, some other ones I'll reveal to you later. So obviously I would be psyched if you all bought a Giant or ran Shimano gears or Vittoria tires. But I feel like the way that I could be helpful is maybe you don't want to buy a Giant, but why do I ride a 5-inch bike or for technical trail riding? Why do I choose these tires? And then you kind of, everybody makes bikes in similar categories. So maybe I'm going to ride a 5-inch travel Giant or a 140 travel inch Giant. Maybe you don't want to buy a Giant, but it'll still give you some ideas of why that type of bike is good for a certain type of riding. Giant, you could look in the catalog. They have hundreds of bikes. I can ride a 4-inch bike, a 5-inch bike, a 6-inch bike, but this is my go-to. This is the one I ride 90% of the time. Vittoria, you look in their tire catalog, they probably have 70 tires. It's like ridiculous, but These Martellos are honestly the best tire that I've ever ridden in my entire life. And I've been riding a really long time, and I've ridden lots of tires. But you could look at this and kind of draw your assumptions. And if you want to buy a Vittoria, that'd be awesome. But if you don't, there's other tires that look similar. At least you could kind of figure out the logic of why something works and why it might work for you. Mayonnaise sponsor announcement later confirmed. The Vittoria Goma is pretty sweet. Chump MTV, the Vittoria Goma, I'll be honest with you. When I first started riding for Vittoria, I tested a whole bunch of tires, and the Goma was a super popular one, and I got it in the wintertime, and on the East Coast, I wasn't thrilled with it. But then I went to Phoenix, and it was like the best tire ever. That Goma on dry, hard-packed terrain was amazing. So it really just depends on where you live. If you live out in the desert or California, drier terrain, even Colorado, the Goma and the Morsa are awesome. This Martello, though, for East Coast or wet terrain, you can't beat this tire. And even I rode this at Sedona Fat Tire Festival. It sticks so good, it's ridiculous. So it really just depends on where you're riding. The guys from Phoenix were telling me that certain tire companies sell out of like 60 durometer tires every season because the guys that ride South Mountain want the hardest tire they could possibly find. But if you took that back here to New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, those hard tires would be terrible. So it just depends on where you live. My favorite tire for the wet, this Martello has a really good compound, but the Moda has wider space, taller knobs, and a similar compound. The Moda is a pretty good tire for the wet terrain as well. How often do you wash, degrease, or oil my XC rigs, trail bike rigs, whatever? Not nearly as much as I should. I probably should wash my bikes more often, but if it's wet or muddy or whatever, I'll usually give it a pretty thorough washing when I'm done. But I probably could do. Ken, you're giving stuff away, Ken. I don't know how you saw that. Maybe you were the one that picked it up on my Instagram photo. I thought I was being sneaky yesterday. All right, 2 Giant Trance Advance Zero and Trance Advance Pro Zero. Nice. Cliff Bar is a sponsor. So Cliff Bar has, other than Giant, Cliff Bar has been sponsoring me the second longest, actually a tie for Giant. I've ridden for Cliff Bar for 17 years. They are an awesome company. It's really, really, really cool when the guy who invented Cliff Bars, Gary, walks up to me and says, "What's up, Jeff?" Like, I never thought in a million years that could ever happen, that like the guy who invented Cliff Bars knows who I am. But Gary's super cool. We like hang out, we'll have a beer together, and the guy invented Cliff Bars. Super cool, great company, do so much to give back. Super cool. What else is really cool is I could say that Dale from Dale's Pale Ale is also a buddy. Dale mountain bikes, and whenever I go to Oscar Blues events, I hang out with Dale. And I never in a million years thought I would hang out with Dale, the guy like who invented Dale's Pale Ale. These are all things that like are completely mind blowing. I never in a million years ever would have thought would happen. All right. How do I feel about the bigger travel trend? I don't know, Marcos. It seems like a lot of people are going more modern geometry and backing off on the travel a little bit. I know with some of the enduro bikes and stuff like that, they're going crazy. I can't believe that they have 170 2.9ers and stuff like that. But for trail riding, it almost seems like there's a trend of slacker head angle, steeper seat tube, and shorter travel, which I'm totally into, because when the geometry is awesome, you don't need all that travel, especially oh yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Somebody commented, I don't know who that was, but knocking down one of the. You guys think I have enough handlebars back here? About my hoodie string game was off point. All right, thanks for the hookup, Richard, for keeping me on fleek here. Troy, you're saying that the rain has some play in the pivots even when they're tight. I have noticed that on my older generation rein, there's just like a little bit of play in the bushings and stuff. And fortunately, I never feel it riding. But when you pick up the seat or something, you do feel a little bit of play. On the newer bikes, they don't have it, which is good. On the older bikes, it was kind of a little bit of a pain and a nuisance. But I never really felt it riding, so that was good. It's just a pain when you pick up your bike and you feel like a tiny bit of play. And it's just because there's always like a fine line between like too much play and like plush suspension, or like it being too tight and it was just a little bit off. Outdoor Gold, 17 years was pretty freaking crazy. Jerry Crichton nailed it. My new sponsor for the year is Olive Garden. I'm just kidding. You know what's crazy though? I wear glasses. I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I don't usually wear glasses. And I usually wear Warby Parkers just because they're cheap and you can get a pair. And if you lose them or want to change the color and whatever, they're like $100. But I keep getting these emails about them doing a collaboration with Arby's, and I can't figure out if it's real. Like it almost seems like it's an Onion article, but I'm not sure if it is. But God, I hope it is fake. We got 90 people. We need 10 more people. Oh, we just lost one. Now we're down to 89. All these other YouTube guys get like 5,000 people watching. I must be a boring live chat. All right. Hall Ranch is the best. I'll be at Oscar Blues Burning Can Festival in Lyons, Colorado, the first weekend of June, and I'm going to be doing some rides at Hall Ranch. So if you're out there, make it out to Hall Ranch. And then also, if you ever want to follow like any festivals I'm going to be at, I usually try to vlog about them, or I put them on my Instagram or my Facebook. But I always vlog about them, so you should definitely try to do that. Speaking of giant reins, what do I run for sag? My buddy rides one and complains about it being saggy all the time. On the rein, I usually run 30% sag, and that's because the rein, I will trail ride it sometimes, but it's got to be someplace like Pisgah or whatever where you're going to climb a fire road and then get a really good payoff. Around here on the East Coast, northern East Coast, I don't really trail ride on the rein too much because we're constantly up and down. So I'm not going to ride a 6-inch travel bike to climb a 3-minute hill to get a 30-second downhill. So I'll typically ride the Trance. The Rein is my bike park bike, or I love riding it like when you could get a good payoff. So if I'm in California, maybe riding Santa Barbara or something where you climb literally for an hour and then you got a 20-minute downhill or something like that, and you can just sit and settle in on the Rein, it's an awesome bike. But usually about 30% sag on that bike. 30% sag on pretty much all my bikes, unless I'm like feeling like I need to be extra efficient, on something on my Trance. Something I might go to 25, but usually 30% sag. All right, let's see. Ride Beside said, "Smeesh the like button." I think you think this is a Seth chat, but if just smeesh the like button. I don't care what you do to the like button. Smeesh it, smash it, like it, push it, anything. We have 90 people watching and only 68 thumbs up. So you guys must think that this live chat is sucking. All right. Chris, call your friends. Call your friends and tell them to come on right now. All right. I'm doing fine. Glasses at Dollar Tree are $1. I know, but you're not going to get like stylish glasses at Dollar Tree. And I try to be stylish. I don't always pull it off, but I try. I think I dress pretty age inappropriately. I usually joke with my kids about that because I don't think other dads for high schoolers dress the way I do. I usually look like a skateboarder or something, but I try to be cool, but it doesn't always work. I do need some Live ambassadors on here. TTTV. He said he missed me in Madison this year, and the other dude was okay, but he didn't have my skills. Robbie Funder, 1,000% definitely has my skills. That guy is awesome, and I really wanted to go to Madison, but I had been going to Madison for 22 years, and I just needed a change of pace. So I went to the Santos Fat Tire Festival, out in the sun, led some group rides, and it's really hard. Like, that was the first place I ever traveled to do mountain bike trials demos, was Madison, Wisconsin. I remember like driving out there and feeling like I was driving across the world. It was Robbie's so awesome. I felt like it was a good move to let him do it. He was so psyched. He was messaging me the whole weekend how fun it was and whatever. So that was pretty awesome. I'm glad that he had fun, and I'm sure he did a good job entertaining you guys. Bike Bell Tony or something, he runs 25%. Yeah, 25 to 30% is definitely the sweet spot. Thanks for telling everybody to hit the like button. I have ridden at Snowshoe, West Virginia. I did some trials events there back in the day. I did a Bike Magazine Monster Park like slope style competition back in the day when they used to invite like street riders and free riders and all that kind of stuff. And then I've also mountain biked there a little bit, but I got to get back there. It's probably been at least 6 years. So Brian asked about the Vittoria Martello compared to the Goma, and I touched on that earlier. On the East Coast, and actually the Martello, I think, is the best tire I've ever used for mountain biking in general. You know, obviously there's specific terrain specific tires that might be better in one instance than the other, but as an overall tire where I could just put it on and know that's going to be good wherever I go, the Martello is definitely the best one I've ever ridden. The Goma is awesome if you're in like Sedona or Phoenix or California where it's super dry and hard packed. Those tires are great, but it's a little bit harder compound, or a lot harder compound. So on the East Coast, I definitely prefer the Martello. All right, you have an old Reign 6.7 and 30% is, yeah, the Reign 6.7 and 30% is definitely about right. All right. JF Rides is quitting MTB and going road spandex. Definitely YouTube that. You'll go far with that trend for sure. Giant needs to make a fat bike. Hated fat bikes until recently. Now I'm hooked. Their fun is shit. Fat biking is pretty awesome. I never thought that I would say that, but I've fat biked, and when you fat bike in the snow, it is pretty awesome because it doesn't even feel like mountain biking. It's like a whole different sport. I don't even really consider that mountain biking. It's like, you know, snowboarding or skiing or whatever. It's like not even biking. It's super, super fun. All right, so Eric Sharp has a 5 and a 9-year-old that are about to start BMX racing. They love my channel. Any tips for kids or chances of you doing more videos for kids? There's definitely a chance of me doing videos for kids. I would say that if you're going to like an actual organized BMX track, they usually have like intro to BMX classes and stuff like that. So depending on where you live, I would definitely look into those kind of things. And the other thing is, BMX is an awesome sport. I grew up riding BMX. I never really raced too much because there wasn't any real tracks around New Jersey. So I probably only raced like 3 or 4 times in my life. But nowadays, like BMX is turning into a pretty awesome sport or a pretty accessible sport. So if you live places like Indianapolis, Florida, a lot of places in Colorado, even South Jersey, there's tons of BMX tracks. They're organized, they're safe. It's a great sport for kids. But just like anything, you see a lot of parents like pressuring their kids now and like mad if they don't win or whatever. I would say just take them to the track, let them have fun. If there's some clinics, get them in the clinics, or even pump tracks. There's always a lot of activities for kids, and just let them have fun on their bikes. And if they want to be competitive, they'll be competitive on their own. They don't need parents like us pushing them. Matt, are you local? He's asking if I'm doing any local group rides. I do some local group rides, but I'm gone the next 4 weekends, so I won't be doing anything soon. But I do want to do some local group rides for sure. Des Fit is asking if Libor Karras still rides. I see a lot of videos of him riding e-bikes and stuff like that. Venture Biker saw me do a trials demo on a red Cannondale at 24 hours snowshoe sometime around 97. I definitely probably did a demo at the 24 hours of snowshoe, but it wasn't on a red Cannondale. I was riding for Schwinn back then. So if you saw me, it was probably on a red Schwinn. And if I had a Cannondale buddy, it might have been my friend Lance Trappy. All right. You guys want to see my 2018 bike? I was trying to get up to 100. We got up to 90. Then we lost 7. We're at 83. I think we should just get to the point. I want to see if anybody saw that video I sent them really quick, though. Because that's pretty much the best thing I've ever seen. Rob Drew said it's sick. All right. Laura Slavin gave hard eyes. And Lance Trappy said it looks like White Castle. If you're from New Jersey, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to go get one more beer because that's what YouTubers do, is they drink beer. And we'll be right back. All right, you guys. It's time to start shotgunning beers. How long have we been on here? 47 minutes. I've strung you along. All right, I'm going to see if I can take this web camera off. Okay, so like I said, I hope this is not much ado about nothing because I'm pretty psyched on this bike. So like I said, Giant, Shimano, Ergon, Vittoria, Cliff Bar. I've all been working with these guys a really, really, really long time. But I had another long-time sponsor. It was probably at least 6 or 7 years that I've recently switched from. And somebody hinted to it before. Crashing Dad, you did not miss the bike reveal. And Crashing Dad, you owe me a message back from yesterday. You never wrote me back. All right. So if everybody's ready, this is my big bike reveal. This is my 2018 Giant Trance. So I'm pretty psyched because normally they send us team model or zero model frame color. So this would normally be just a black and a blue Trance frame. I think this is actually the frame color off of a Giant Trance 1. So it's kind of cool because I get to build up a pretty unique looking frame. But the big change for this year is Giant partnered with DVO, and I had been riding for X-Fusion for about 6 years. I went to the Sedona Fat Tire Festival. I rode one of my teammates' bike, Adam Craig, and his bike felt amazing with the DVO suspension. I met with the guys from DVO at Sedona Fat Tire Festival, asked them if they'd be interested in me running DVO suspension, and they were super excited that I was interested. And the more we talked, they seemed like awesome guys, and DVO makes total sense because they are partnering with Giant for their race team this year. I'm not part of the race team. I'm a solo ambassador or whatever for the brand. So I kind of have some flexibility to have my own sponsors, but they're doing a ton of development with Giant. They are designing shocks specifically for this Maestro suspension. They're putting all their engineers on it to make this stuff as good as possible. And I already had known and heard tons of people that love the shocks, the forks. So I have this custom painted blue diamond fork, which they did for the Giant team this year. Has a built-in fender. And then on the back, I have this Topaz shock. And that is something new for me this year. So I'm super excited about that. My other new partner for this year is Orange Seal. So like I said, you can't see it because it's inside the tires, but you can see the little Orange Seal sticker there. So I'm pretty excited about working with those guys. And I keep shining this at the light. And then my third new sponsor, and now I'm also giving away the fact that my bike is not totally done yet because you're going to see that my steer tube isn't cut. But my other new sponsor this year is Wahoo Computers. So that whole relationship started. I got a message from one of the sales guys at Wahoo, and I had known about Wahoo, but I had used other brands' computers. He was a huge Trail Boss fan. Wahoo never really did any type of trail riding kind of stuff before, and I started talking to those guys. They sent me some computers to try. I never really thought that there was a difference in computers. I figured they were always the same thing, you know, hit the button 75 times to set it up, and up, down, select, transfer over, and like it's just like the most time consuming thing. They sent me a Wahoo computer. You link it up to your smartphone, you make it look how you want it to look within a couple seconds, and it works perfect. In my first Trail Boss video, the data that goes on the screen, I recorded with the Wahoo computer, and then I put that in an editing app. And with some of the other computers I had, I would do a whole Trail Boss video and then be like, crap, it didn't capture my heart rate. Or you would start pedaling at a hill and then it doesn't record your speed right away. With the Wahoo computer, it was like perfectly perfect every single time. So I'm super psyched on those guys. So those are 3 new sponsors this year. I'm going to put this right here and then put that back down and show you my bike, and then we can talk about what I'm excited about this bike this year. Whoa! I dropped my camera. I guess that's the cool thing about going live, right? You get to see that. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Okay. And it still works. So what do you guys think of my new bike? All right, so we got some questions coming in now. So I'm going to put this right here so you can see the whole bike. And then I'm right here. But I'm going to answer whatever questions are coming across. So we have a bunch of questions. So I'm just going to go through the bike really, really, really quick. So starting at the top, those are Ergon GE1 grips. I'm using Shimano Deore XT brakes. I'm using Shimano Deore Di2 drivetrain. Those are Pro carbon fiber Tharsis bars and a Tharsis 55 millimeter stem. The frame is an extra large Giant Trance, so it's a carbon fiber frame and it's a size extra large. The fork is a DVO diamond fork, and I have it set at 160 millimeters travel. The wheels are Vittoria Demian Plus, so it's a 35 millimeter outer diameter and a 30 millimeter inner, nice wide rim. And then the tires are Martello 2.5s or 2.35s. Got the Cliff water bottle on there just because those guys have supported me for so long. The rear shock is a DVO Topaz. The cranks are Shimano Deore XT with a 32-tooth chainring and the Shimano Deore XT trail pedals. I've been running Shimano Deore XT for a couple years, and the guys from Shimano asked me to try it out a couple years ago, and before that I lived and died by Shimano XTR. And when I put this stuff on, it's super durable. I like the fact that it's black because it just is murdered out. And it just has such a good feel. And I love riding a bike that people could actually afford. The Shimano XTR stuff is awesome, but there's not many people that are going to go throw down the money for Shimano Dior XT. So I feel like if they watch me doing a Trail Boss video or go on a group ride with me and they see me riding Dior XT, and I can get XTR if I wanted, but this stuff works so good. I just feel like, why not promote this stuff with something that people could actually afford without needing to take out a second mortgage? I have a MRP bash guard underneath here, so just something to protect the chainring when you are riding and stuff like that. The seat is an ergon as well. And then Crashing Dad commented about the seat post. It is a short travel, but it is all the. I don't know. I'm working on this bike, so it's probably the seat post cable is loose, but that is an X-Fusion Manic post, which will be replaced by a giant brand dropper post. The giant brand dropper posts are super reliable, and I just don't have it yet, and I was trying to get the bike built. So this is a short travel. It's only a 125. It will be a little bit longer when I get the proper one. So yes, when I'm 6'4", and it definitely pays to have a longer travel post when you're as tall as I am. Exactly, the Contact SL. Yep. Oh, as far as the Laura, did I say 30 tooth? Well, yeah, it's a 32 tooth. And the rear cog, I'm not sure about this. So I've always run the 42 tooth Shimano cassette. And then I was cruising around in Sedona on a demo bike, and it had the 46. I've never really wanted the 46. I felt like the jump is kind of big. But I rode one at Sedona. A rugged climb. So I figured I might as well throw the 46 back on there and see how it works. And I might even put the 46 on and go to a 34 in the front when I get back to New Jersey and like get it all sorted out. So yeah, that was the logic behind that thing. I'm gonna turn this right here, unless you guys want to keep looking at my bike. Oh, let's see. All right, I'm going to put on a 36 tooth chainring just to prove a point. All right. XT trail pedals for the win. So let's see. We're going to answer some questions here. 160. Yep. The fork is a 160. I always go back and forth on some of my trances. I've run 150, some I've run 160, but I've typically run 160 more than I've run 150. The back travel of this bike is 140. So you get all the advantages of the long travel fork, and you can basically bomb over anything, but you can still climb super efficiently. My Chump MTB demoed the trans yesterday. The suspension is pretty sweet, and I am super excited about the switch to DVO this year. Their suspension has been amazing. I've heard so many good things about it, and when I demoed a bike in Sedona, I really wanted to be part of what those guys are doing. And then I've known the guys there forever, but I just never really talked to them too much. And we talked and hit it off, and they were awesome. And now I'm riding for DVO, and it's pretty sweet. Let's see. Second, Ken, the Di2 XT isn't that unreasonable. I wish I could tell you the price, but I don't know the price. But the Di2 XT is still cheaper than the XTR. And let me tell you about the Di2, because I do have people ask me about the Di2 XT. The Di2 XT I got last year, and when I first put it on, I was a little skeptical. I figured, why bother with electronics when you could keep it old school analog and just go with the regular cable? But the more I used it, ergonomically, it just felt great. So I have bikes with Dior XT mechanical, and it's awesome. But the ergonomics on the Di2 and the way you could adjust the shift levers, the throw and the reach and whatever is pretty cool. And it is super fast. It does. You could, when you're climbing, you could just hold a gear and it'll shift all the way up or shift all the way down, which is kind of cool. I like it. I was a little skeptical at first, I'll be honest, but I think it's pretty sweet now that I put some time into it. All right, let's see what else we got here. The box cassette is 1146 with even steps all the way up. I run 30. That seems like it could be a pretty cool setup. I've never run any oval rings in the past 20 years. I had Shimano BioPace back in the day, but in the past 20 years, whatever, I haven't had oval, but I do remember them being kind of sweet. Gene, thanks for watching. Gene, regular guy mountain biking, is closing things down. I'm not sure exactly what he's closing down, but he's closing something down. Crashing Dad, looks like to set up nicely to climb up that horse feast bench drop in. Now that would be truly boss. Crashing Dad, I went to horse feast bench with every intention of climbing up that thing last year, but I was there, I think it was the 1st of June or whatever, and it was literally 100 degrees outside. So I don't know if you ever tried riding technical stuff in 100 degrees, but the hard part about riding trials or technical stuff is there's no wind chill or anything like that. So I tried to ride up Horse Feast bench probably 6 times and then just said, this is not happening. It's literally 100 degrees. There is a video of this guy, Ariel Fontenay, I think that's how you say his name, riding up Horse Feast bench. He did it in November. It was nice and moist and there's good traction and stuff like that. I, not to say without doing it, but I did ride up Horse Feast bench in sections, but I didn't do the whole thing start to finish. So I have to get back there and put the whole entire ride together because it's going to make a pretty sweet video. So I have done it piecemeal, but I have not done it in one continuous ride. It's going to happen someday. It's just not going to happen when it's literally 100 degrees outside, because I honestly thought I was going to have like an aneurysm. I tried and it just was not working. Okay. Got a couple more minutes and then we're going to cut off this live chat at like an hour and 5 minutes or so. I'm going to do another full bike check of this bike. So I'll be posting that up on my YouTube channel fairly soon. So I know I skimmed over it tonight, but I just wanted to give all of you the first chance to see this new bike because I'm super excited about it. And then I'll do a full comprehensive bike check. So make sure you check back to my channel to see that. Di2 on the road bikes is incredible. I don't even know where it is. Oh, you know what? It's, yeah, never mind. I have a giant TCR that I need to get built up, but I have a 2017 TCR and it has rim brakes and non-through axles, and I just got a new TCR frame set the other day and it has through axles, disc brakes. So I have a lot of sorting out to do before that thing hits the road because I have all old school stuff. I can't believe that bikes have road bikes have disc brakes and through axles and all that stuff now, but I rode a road bike with disc brakes and it's seriously the most amazing thing ever. I know people say it's stupid, but I thought it was so awesome. Not a fan of the 37 to 46 jump. Prefer a smaller front ring with a 1142 rear. Totally agree, Andrew. That is typically what I run, is the 1142 in the rear with a 32 in the front. But I went to Sedona and I rode this one particular trail on a demo bike, and I'm pretty sure that had a 32 with the same chainring in the back. And I rode the whole trail and cleaned it. I didn't film it. So I wanted to go back and I didn't want to bring the wrong gears or whatever. So I just threw this cassette on here, but it probably will go back to an 1142 when I get home. All right. So Joe says the absolute black rings work good. Yeah, I got to check that stuff out. It looks really cool. I am going to Sedona next weekend. So a week from tomorrow. And I'll be out there for 2 days and I'm going to shoot a trail. And if you've ever ridden Highline Trail, it's the climb to get out. I forget what it's called. It totally escapes me, but it's this really super sweet climb. The traction is awesome. You basically ride up the steepest stuff ever, and it doesn't look like it should be climbable, and it was totally climbable. And I think it'll look awesome because Sedona is just so picturesque. You kind of can't go wrong there. What's up, Michael? Any trips to Illinois? I was just in Illinois, Michael. I was there. I was in Indianapolis two or 3 weeks ago, but I'm going to be coming back through there in a couple weeks. So I'll be back, or the beginning of June, on my way out to Colorado. So I'll be back there. All right. Leon signing off. Powderfinger signing off. Dude, Justin, Justin Parmeter said they rode the whole enchilada in July. So I tried to ride Horsey's bench, and then the next day we went to Moab because we were driving from Colorado to Utah, and we rode the whole enchilada on a day that ended at 105 degrees, and the shuttle left at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I thought that was so stupid to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, why would you possibly get up that early? By the time we did the shuttle up and rode down, my friend Tim, who was riding with me, is like a super awesome rider, but he had like the weirdest crash, and he literally put his dropper lever post through his forearm. It was the craziest thing I ever saw, and it went through his forearm, but he was fine. But by the time like all that stuff was said and done, we were finishing up right around noon, and it was getting super, super, super hot. Taking the 7 a.m. shuttle was the best decision we ever made because it would have been like ridiculous had we taken like a 9 or something like that. All right. Giant does use FSA headsets. Yes. Chris, I will definitely be there. I will be riding, I forget the name of the trail, Chris, but you do Highline and then you finish down by the river. And I think it's the only way out. It's like this super technical climbing trail. I think it starts with a T, and I'm not even being daft not saying it. I really don't remember the name of the trail, but it's when you do Highline and you finish down by the river, it's one of the climbs up, and it was super fun. And I'm going to go there and film it next week. So if you're looking for me, I'll be on that ride. Marcos, when's my next time in Mountain Creek? I was just talking to Hugh from Mountain Creek this afternoon, and they're opening on April 27th. I'll be back from California then. I plan to be at Mountain Creek on opening day. Yes, Templeton. That's it. You guys think Templeton is good or Templeton is bad? What air pressure do I run in my fork and shock? That is a very good question because this bike has not left the stand yet. So when I do my bike check, I will put that in there because you can see the steer tube's not cut off yet. It's not the proper post, and I haven't even aired up the shocks yet. So it's probably about 5 tons of pressure. So ride beside, when I do that bike check, I'll put what my air pressures are and stuff like that. Live Free and Shred, what's my favorite trail at Kingdom Trails? Upper J Bar is an acceptable answer. I would say that it is probably Upper J Bar. Upper J Bar is really, really, really awesome. All right. Boo on Templeton. Why is Boo on Templeton? That's a cool. Is it Templeton? That's the one that's like a pretty good climb out of there. I thought that was pretty sweet, and it looks cool because it's very scenic too. Templeton is a tough climb. That's the whole reason. Yeah, I'm just doing the Templeton climb. That's it. Like from the riverbed to the Slick Rock section. I don't know like what continues on past there, but just from the riverbed up to the top of those switchbacky climbs. That would be it. Where do I put my Di2 battery? I put my Di2 battery inside the steer tube. So right in there. And I've been doing that for about a year, and it's seemed like it works pretty well. Like, I haven't had any issue forks. They did that because apparently when you're riding enduro tracks 1,000 miles an hour, they were drawing it loose. I haven't had any problems with the battery just in the steer tube the way it usually, or no, the battery wouldn't fall out, but the headsets would come loose. But I haven't had any problems with that Tharsis stem, and you use the proper, where the heck is I feel like I have two of them laying around right here. You use this thing, attach your battery to it, and it seems like it works pretty good. Leon did 2 forward flips on J-Bar, but he agrees all around is the best. Great idea using the grip. Any tips on progressing in climbing? He's starting to get up, say, 2-foot ledges, but often hit my chain ring. See me in Illinois. I did a video for my YouTube channel. You might have seen it. It's for a move called the punch. Look that thing up, learn it, everything. It's a great way to climb up and over stuff. He hikes and bikes Templeton Trail. He's 6'2", 250, aggressive fat guy, coil front and rear and enduro, but love the trail. The punch. Chris, the Templeton is a tough trail. I was pretty surprised I climbed it. Honestly, like, when you look at that stuff, I don't know if there's anybody else on here that climbs that Templeton Trail, but like when I first started, you start pedaling at it and you're like, there's no possible way that I'm making it up that steep section. And you ride up that rock in Sedona. It's like the stickiest stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. And then the next thing you know, like, you've made it up. If you have the gear for it, which is what I'm going for with this 46, if you have the gear, you're going to make it up that stuff. It's just ridiculous how sticky it is. All right. I have road coil shocks. I have a coil shock on my Giant Rain, and I love it. But when you try to ride trail on it, it's so supple. It definitely soaks it up. But when you ride downhill, it seriously feels like a downhill bike, and it is the best thing ever. All right. Any chance I can come to Brown County and show you how to ride schooner in person? I'm going to try to go to that the mountain bike festival that's there, Mr. Moon Boy. I know that you've commented on a lot of my stuff, and I want to go to that mountain bike festival. I think it's in September. And if I'm there, I will take you on a personal trail of Schooner's Trace, and we'll get you through that whole thing. I think we'll try our best. Cool. All right, guys, I am going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching this live chat tonight. I'm going to do a full bike check for this new bike in the next couple days. So before I take it and thrash it and beat it to heck, while it's still nice and shiny in one piece, I'm going to go over it and do a bike check. So check out my YouTube page for that. You'll get to see the whole bike, and I'll try to do another live chat soon. I usually like trying to do this with another friend, so I'll see if I can do like a live chat with another rider or something like that soon. But thanks for checking this out, and keep watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I hope to ride with every single one of you in the near future. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good night.